Okay, welcome to the deep dive. We're here to really get under the hood of complex news, industry shifts, tech breakthroughs, basically cut through the noise and find the insights that matter.
Yeah, digging deep.
Exactly. And today we are plunging headfirst into some pretty fascinating developments in cybersecurity. Specifically, we're focusing on a company making some, well, significant moves in AI-powered email security.
A really hot area right now.
Absolutely. So our mission today is to thoroughly unpack the details around a recent funding event involving this company, Trustifi, and understand what it all means for, the critical task of securing our digital communications, which, let's face it, affects everyone. But before we dive right in, just a quick word. This deep dive is sponsored by Stonefly.
That's right. Stonefly is a leader in enterprise storage, backup and disaster recovery, AI storage, and cloud solutions. Really comprehensive stuff.
Yeah, if you're looking for secure, ransomware-proof storage, and who isn't these days, Stonefly sells air-gapped and immutable storage. You can contact sales at stonefly.com to schedule a demo.
Sales@stonefly.com. Good to know.
Okay, let's get to it. The news that really caught our eye and sparked this whole thing. The big headline: an AI email security platform, Trustifi, just landed a really substantial funding round.
Yeah, that's the core piece of info. News broke June 3rd, 2025. Trustifi successfully closed a $25 million Series A funding round.
$25 million. Series A, that's not small change.
No, definitely not. Especially for a Series A, it signals, a pretty strong belief in what they're doing, and this brings their total capital raised, according to what you've seen, to $29 million.
Right. So $4 million prior, now another $25 million.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's behind this big injection of cash? Who led the round?
The lead investor is a firm called Camber Partners. They're based in New York City, and they specialize in growth equity. Specifically, they partner with innovative B2B SaaS companies, usually when those companies are hitting that scaling phase.
Right, the scaling phase. Let's just quickly unpack some of that jargon B2B SaaS. We hear it all the time, but what does it actually mean for someone listening who maybe isn't deep in the tech finance world?
Good call. So B2B is just business to business, simple enough. Their customers are other companies, organizations, not, individual consumers buying an app.
Okay.
And SaaS is software as a service. So think subscription-based software, usually accessed over the internet, hosted in the cloud. You don't buy a CD anymore, right? You subscribe.
Right, like Office 365 or Google Workspace itself, actually.
Exactly. So a B2B SaaS company like Trustifi provides its software email security, in this case, to other businesses online, usually via subscription.
Got it. So Camber looks for these types of companies, cloud software, for businesses that are sort of past the initial startup bumps, they've proven something works, and now they need serious capital to, well, grow fast.
Growth equity.
Right.
That's precisely it. They're injecting fuel. These companies usually have customers, they have revenue, but they need that significant capital to really ramp up sales, marketing, product development, grab market share quickly.
It's about hitting the accelerator.
Pretty much. And Camber often brings more than just money, but we can get into that later.
Okay. So, back to this Trustifi news. $25 million. Why is this particular deal so noteworthy, beyond the number itself? What's the real significance here?
Well, the material we looked at frames it in a few ways. Obviously, it's a major milestone for Trustifi. That's clear.
Sure.
But bigger picture, it apparently highlights strong market interest, specifically in AI-powered email security, which tells you something about where the perceived needs are.
And the threats, presumably.
And the threats, exactly. It also reinforces that email security, maybe sometimes seen as, old news, is still a critical area of cyber defense, maybe more critical than ever.
Yeah, it feels like despite all the new collaboration tools, email is still where so much sensitive communication happens and where so many attacks start. It's still ground zero.
It absolutely is. So this level of investment, a $25 million Series A, it's basically the market saying, yes, this is a huge, urgent problem, and we think this company's approach using AI is a really promising way to tackle it. It validates the need, and it validates Trustifi's potential solution.
And you mentioned it provides fuel for growth. How critical is that kind of funding for a company in this space?
Oh, it's essential. Cybersecurity, especially with AI involved, moves incredibly fast. Threats evolve constantly.
Yeah.
To keep up, let alone get ahead, you need resources, big resources.
Right.
This funding allows them to accelerate everything, hire more engineers, speed up product development, expand the sales team, boost marketing, build out the infrastructure needed to support more customers. It's the engine for scaling, plain and simple.
Yeah.
Without it, it's very hard to compete effectively actually, especially against established players or other well-funded startups.
Okay, headline clear. Trustifi, $25 million Series A from Camber Partners, scaling AI email security for businesses. Let's get into the nuts and bolts now. What does Trustifi's platform actually do? What's the solution they're selling?
So it's described as an all-in-one solution, which implies it's not just, say, an anti-spam filter. It's designed to be more comprehensive.
All in one. Okay. So if I think about securing my house, it's not just locking the front door. It's more like having the locks, plus maybe security cameras, motion detectors, maybe even a system that teaches my family what to do if the alarm goes off.
That's a pretty good analogy, actually, yeah. The material breaks it down into three key components they seem to bundle together. First, obviously, email security. That's the foundation blocking the bad stuff coming in.
Right, the threats.
Second, data loss prevention, or DLP. This is about stopping sensitive information from going out when it shouldn't.
Okay, DLP. That's a term businesses hear a lot. What does that look like in practice for email?
So DLP is all about preventing sensitive data. Think customer PII, financial records, health info, company secrets, intellectual property from leaving the organization via email, either by accident or, maliciously.
Right, someone hitting reply all with confidential data, or maybe a disgruntled employee.
Exactly, or just an honest mistake. So a DLP system scans outbound emails and attachments. It looks for patterns like social security numbers, credit card numbers, or specific keywords, or maybe flags certain document types based on company policies.
And if it finds something?
It takes action based on the rules. It might block the email entirely, maybe automatically encrypt it, perhaps quarantine it so a manager has to approve it, or just send an alert. It's crucial for data privacy, for compliance with regulations, GDPR, HIPAA, CCPA, all those, and of course for preventing really costly data breaches.
So it's defense in both directions. Stop threats coming in, stop sensitive data going out. What was the third component?
The third piece is security awareness training, addressing the human factor.
The people using the email.
Yep. Because, let's be real, even the best tech can be bypassed if someone clicks on the wrong link or gets tricked by a clever phishing email. The human element is often the weakest link.
Sadly true.
So security awareness training aims to educate employees, teach them how to spot phishing attempts, why they shouldn't click suspicious links or open unexpected attachments, the importance of strong passwords, just general good cyber hygiene. By including this, Trustifi is acknowledging you need both the tech and informed users for a solid defense.
Makes total sense. Layered defense, including the human layer. Now, the platform itself, it's described as cloud native. Why is that important? Why mention that specifically?
Cloud native means it was built from the ground up for the cloud. It wasn't an older system just moved to the cloud. It leverages cloud architecture intrinsically.
And the benefit there is?
Scalability is a big one. As a company's email volume grows, the platform can scale resources up easily, automatically. Flexibility, too. Updates, security patches crucial in this field can be rolled out really quickly to everyone. Accessibility is another, plus manage it from anywhere. Compared to older on-premise security hardware, cloud native generally means more agility, easier management, often faster response to new threats.
Okay. And another point highlighted is seamless integration, specifically with Microsoft 365 and Google Workspace.
Yeah.
That sounds like a must-have feature for businesses.
Oh, absolutely critical. Think about it. The vast majority of businesses run on one of those two platforms for their email and collaboration.
Yeah, they dominate.
So if your security solution is hard to integrate, if it disrupts workflows or requires a massive migration project, businesses are going to balk. Seamless integration means Trustifi can essentially layer its security on top of the existing M365 or Google Workspace setup relatively easily. Lower friction, faster deployment, less disruption for users. It's a huge selling point.
So putting those pieces together, the email security, the DLP, the training, the cloud-native architecture, the easy integration, the core goals are what? Protecting data, compliance, preventing breaches?
Exactly. Those are the headline goals mentioned. Protect sensitive data, comply with regulations, and defend against breaches.
And they're all interconnected, right?
Completely. You protect the data effectively. That helps you achieve compliance. You do both of those well, your risk of damaging breach goes way down. And the consequences of failing, they're massive. Huge fines, lawsuits, devastating reputational damage, loss of customer trust. For some businesses, a major breach can be an existential threat. So yeah, those goals are absolutely central to what any serious email security platform needs to deliver.
Okay, it's a comprehensive approach. Now, let's really zoom in on the AI-powered aspect.
Yeah.
That seems to be core to Trustifi's pitch and probably a big reason for the investment. How specifically are they using AI?
Right. The material says AI is used to scan emails for threats. But it gets more specific, calling out the types of sophisticated threats the AI targets. Things like impersonation, spoofing, spear phishing, and business email compromise, BEC.
Okay, those are the big, nasty ones we hear about causing major damage. Let's quickly define them so we're all clear. Impersonation and spoofing. They sound similar.
They often go hand in hand. Spoofing is the technical part, faking the from address so an email looks like it came from, say, co@yourcompany.com, even though it didn't. Impersonation is the broader deception, making the content of the email sound like it's from someone trusted, like an urgent request from the fake CEO to wire money immediately.
Got it. Tricking the recipient based on who they think is sending it. And spear phishing, that's different from regular phishing.
Yeah, regular phishing is like casting a wide net with generic bait. Click here to update your bank account, hoping someone bites. Spear phishing is, well, like using a spear, it's highly targeted.
How's it?
Attackers research their target, an individual, maybe a specific department. They gather info from LinkedIn, company websites, social media, anywhere they can. Then they craft a personalized email that seems incredibly legitimate. It might reference a real project, mention colleagues by name, mimic the communication style of the person they're impersonating. Much harder to spot because it feels relevant and specific to you.
More work for the attacker, but much higher chance of success. Scary stuff.
Yeah.
And business email compromise, BEC.
BEC is kind of the culmination of these techniques, often. It's a scam where attackers use impersonation, spoofing, spear phishing, whatever works, to trick employees, usually someone in finance or HR, into doing something they shouldn't.
Like sending money or sensitive data.
Exactly. The classic example is the fake CEO email asking accounting to urgently pay a new vendor invoice, but the bank details go to the attacker. Or pretending to be a lawyer demanding confidential documents for a supposed secret merger. The key is there's often no malware, no malicious link. It's pure social engineering, relying on deception and urgency. And the losses can be astronomical.
Okay, so Trustifi's AI isn't just looking for known virus signatures or obvious spam words. It's trained to detect the subtle signals of these kinds of attacks. Impersonation, social engineering, context.
That seems to be the claim, and that's where AI becomes really necessary. How are these threats changing, and why do you need AI to fight them effectively now?
Yeah, that's the crucial question.
Well, it's becoming an AI arms race, essentially. Attackers are using AI too.
How?
They can use AI to generate much more convincing phishing emails, perfect grammar, natural language, contextually relevant at scale, way better than the old poorly spelled Nigerian prince emails. AI can analyze vast amounts of public data to identify targets and craft super personalized spear phishing campaigns automatically. AI can even help find software vulnerabilities faster. So the attacks are becoming faster, more sophisticated, more numerous, and harder for traditional defenses to catch.
Because traditional defenses rely on known patterns, right?
Yeah.
Signatures, blacklists.
Mostly, yeah. They're good at stopping known threats. But these AI-driven attacks are often novel or cleverly disguised. That's where defensive AI comes in. It can look beyond simple signatures. It can analyze, say, behavioral anomalies. Does this email, even from a known address, use unusual language? Is it asking for an action that's out of character or violates normal procedures?
Interesting. What else?
It can analyze linguistic patterns for signs of deception or machine generation. It can assess the sender's reputation and historical communication patterns in more complex ways. Critically, AI models can learn and adapt to new threat variations much faster than humans can update rule sets or signature databases.
So you really do need AI to fight AI, to spot the subtle, dynamic, fast-moving threats that offensive AI is creating.
That's increasingly the reality. You need that speed, that ability to analyze context and behavior, not just keywords or sender addresses.
Okay, AI is clearly central, but it's an all-in-one platform. What other security features are layered alongside the AI detection?
Right, it's not just the fancy AI. The material also mentions more foundational but still essential features. Things like URL scanning, checking links in emails to see if they lead to malicious sites. File scanning, examining attachments for malware.
Standard stuff, but necessary.
Absolutely. Plus spam and gray mail protection. Gray mail is that borderline stuff newsletters you might have signed up for once. Marketing emails. Not malicious, but annoying and can clutter the inbox, potentially hiding real threats.
Yeah, hiding the needle in the haystack.
Exactly. And another important one mentioned is account takeover prevention with real-time blocking capabilities.
Account takeover. Like if a hacker gets into an employee's actual email account.
Precisely. That's incredibly dangerous because then the attacker can send malicious emails from a legitimate internal address, targeting colleagues, accessing sensitive conversations and data. It bypasses many external defenses. So features to detect and block suspicious login attempts or unusual account activity are vital.
And the real-time blocking part, why emphasize that?
Speed is everything in defense. If a malicious email lands in an inbox, even for a few minutes, someone might click it. Real-time blocking means the system identifies and neutralizes the threat instantly upon arrival, quarantining it, deleting it, whatever the policy dictates, before the user even has a chance to interact with it. Minimizing that window of exposure is crucial.
Makes sense. Milliseconds
Yeah.
matter. Now, we talked about the human element earlier, the training component,
Yeah.
but you also mentioned human error. How does the platform address the fact that even with training, people just mess up sometimes?
Yeah, this ties back to the DLP and also general security policies. The platform apparently uses outbound email encryption rules and threat protection policies to act as a safety net.
How does that work?
So imagine someone is rushing. They accidentally attach the wrong file, maybe one with sensitive customer data, to an email going outside the company. Or they forget to encrypt it when policy requires it. Or worse, they mistype the address and send it to the wrong John Smith.
Happens all the time.
It does, so pre-configured rules within the platform can catch this. Based on the recipient, the content detected in the email or attachment using DLP scanning, or the type of attachment, the system can automatically enforce an action.
Like forcing encryption.
Exactly. Or blocking the email if it violates a critical policy, like sending certain types of data to a personal email address. It provides that automated backstop. It enforces policy even when the human forgets or makes a mistake.
So it's acknowledging reality. Train people, yes, but also build in technical guardrails because errors will happen.
Precisely. It's about building resilience into the system, making it harder to fail, even accidentally. It complements the awareness training educate, but also protect against the inevitable human lapses.
Okay, stepping back a bit. All this ties into the why now. The material mentions increasing concern over AI-driven cybersecurity threats, the imperative to secure communication channels effectively, and just generally rising demand for intelligent security solutions. It feels like a perfect storm driving investment in companies like Trustifi.
I think that's exactly right. This funding isn't arbitrary. It directly reflects the market reality. Attackers are getting smarter, using AI. Email remains a primary attack vector. Businesses know they need better defenses than they had maybe 5 years ago.
The old tools aren't cutting it.
Increasingly, no. They need solutions that are dynamic, that can adapt, that use intelligence AI to counter intelligent threats. The demand is there because the pain is real. Trustifi, with its focus on AI and its comprehensive approach, seems positioned to meet that demand. This investment validates that positioning.
Okay, we've got a solid picture of Trustifi and the need they're addressing. Let's circle back to the investor, Camber Partners. They specialize in scaling B2B SaaS. What was it about Trustifi specifically that caught their eye and made them say, yes, this is where we put $25 million?
Well, we have a quote from Justin Johnson at Camber, which is quite revealing. He says, "We believe Trustifi has the potential to become the leading email security platform for MSPs."
MSPs again, managed service providers. We touched on this, the companies handling IT for smaller businesses.
Exactly. And that phrase, leading platform for MSPs, combined with the mention of Trustifi's channel-first approach, is really key.
Why is that channel strategy so important?
Think about the market. There are millions of small and medium-sized businesses, SMBs, that need good email security but lack sophisticated internal IT teams. Selling directly to each one is incredibly difficult and expensive.
Right, a huge fragmented market.
But who do these SMBs often turn to for their IT needs? Their local or regional MSP. So by focusing on partnering with MSPs, Trustifi effectively taps into a pre-built sales and service channel. The MSPs become their route to market, selling and often managing Trustifi for potentially hundreds of end customers each. It's a highly scalable way to reach that massive SMB segment.
So Camber saw not just a good product, but a really smart, efficient way to get that product into the hands of a huge number of customers. Leverage the existing MSP relationship.
Precisely. It's a powerful distribution strategy. But Camber also highlighted other things. They mentioned Trustifi's comprehensive and well-loved product suite.
Well-loved. That's interesting phrasing from an investor.
It is. It suggests they did their due diligence, talked to existing customers and partners, and found real satisfaction. It implies the product actually works well and solves problems effectively in the real world. That significantly reduces investment risk compared to a product that sounds good on paper but hasn't proven itself.
Makes sense. What else did they like?
They reiterated the modern AI-first solution, emphasizing the technology angle again. And crucially, they noted the intuitive user experience.
Intuitive UX. Why is that so critical, especially if MSPs are often managing it?
It's vital for everyone involved. For the MSP, think about managing security for dozens, maybe hundreds of clients. If the platform is clunky, difficult to configure, hard to troubleshoot, it becomes a massive time sink and operational headache for them. An intuitive platform makes the MSP's job easier, more efficient, more profitable.
Okay, efficiency for the channel partner.
Right. And for the end users at the client companies, the employees, if they have to interact with the system, say to release a quarantine email or use an encryption feature, it needs to be simple. If it's confusing or frustrating, they'll either avoid using it, potentially bypassing security, or they'll generate lots of support calls for the MSP. So intuitive UX drives adoption, ensures effective use, and reduces support overhead. It's not just a nice to have, it's fundamental to making security work in practice.
So Camber saw this combination: strong, relevant AI tech, a comprehensive suite, proven customer satisfaction, a smart channel strategy for scale, and practical usability. That sounds like a compelling package in a crowded market.
Exactly. In cybersecurity, you have tons of point solutions. What stands out is a platform that's comprehensive, all-in-one, uses cutting-edge tech for current threats, AI first, is proven effective, well-loved, has a clear path to market scale, channel-first MSPs, and is actually easy to use, intuitive UX. Ticking all those boxes makes a company look like a strong bet for growth.
And it wasn't just about the money Camber brought, right? The material mentions they provide more than just capital.
Correct. It mentions flexible capital A&D, dedicated go-to-market and data science resources. This is typical of good growth equity firms. They're active partners.
So what do those go-to-market and data science resources actually mean in practice?
It means Camber has in-house experts or connections they bring to the table. Go-to-market resources could help Trustifi refine their sales processes, optimize pricing, improve their MSP partner program, or develop better marketing campaigns. Data science resources could help them analyze usage patterns to improve the product, understand customer churn, identify upsell opportunities, or segment the market more effectively. It's operational expertise aimed at accelerating growth smartly.
So it's smart money, capital plus strategic and operational help.
That's the idea. And Trustifi's CEO, Ram Hendler, is quoted valuing Camber's collaborative approach, strategic insight, and deep experience in scaling software companies. It suggests Trustifi actively sought out a partner who could offer more than just a check.
Okay, so Trustifi has the $25 million plus this expert support from Camber. What are their specific plans? How are they going to deploy this new capital?
The material outlines several key areas for investment, pretty much what you'd expect for a company in this phase. First, accelerate the product roadmap and product development.
Build more stuff faster.
Essentially, yeah, more features, better AI, enhanced capabilities, keep the product ahead of the curve. Second, expand and double down on their go-to-market strategy and initiatives.
Really push that MSP channel strategy, scale up sales efforts.
Exactly. Invest more in supporting and recruiting MSP partners, refine the sales engine, get the product in front of more potential customers efficiently. Third, increase marketing and awareness efforts.
Get the word out. Build the brand.
Right. Make sure businesses and MSPs know who Trustifi is and what they offer. And fourth, grow its presence globally, targeting further growth in core markets.
Take the show on the road internationally.
Expand beyond their current geographic footprint. Email threats are global, the market is global.
So it really is about pouring fuel on the fire, like you said earlier, taking what's working the product, the channel model, and just hitting the accelerator hard across the board: product, sales, marketing, geography.
That's the classic growth equity playbook. You identify a strong company with a proven model in a growing market, inject capital, and help them scale rapidly on all fronts before competitors can catch up or the market window closes.
Let's dig into those areas a bit. Accelerating the product roadmap. What could that realistically involve? Just making the existing AI better or adding whole new modules?
Could be all of the above. Enhancing the AI is almost certainly a priority, making detection more accurate, reducing false positives, maybe adding capabilities to detect new types of AI-generated threats. But they might also add adjacent functionalities, maybe deeper integration with endpoint security, perhaps more sophisticated incident response features, or developing specific compliance modules for niche industries. It's about broadening the platform's value and staying ahead technologically.
And the go-to-market and marketing push. For a channel-first company, that means investing heavily in those MSP relationships.
Absolutely. Providing MSPs with better training, marketing collateral they can use, dedicated support, maybe more attractive partnership terms. Making it as easy and profitable as possible for MSPs to sell and manage Trustifi is key to scaling through that channel. Plus, broader marketing to raise Trustifi's profile generally, which also helps their MSP partners.
And the global expansion piece.
Yeah.
That seems like a big step. Different regulations, languages.
It is a big step, and it requires significant investment. Localizing the product, understanding different market needs and compliance landscapes, like GDPR nuances versus U.S. state laws, building international sales and support teams, establishing relationships with MSPs in new countries. It's complex, but necessary if they aim to be a global leader.
So these investment areas are all interconnected, really. Better product makes it easier to sell. Better sales and marketing fuels growth, including global expansion.
Precisely. It's a coordinated push. You need a strong product to have something compelling to sell, but you need effective go-to-market and marketing to actually reach customers and achieve scale. They reinforce each other.
And the CEO, Ram Hendler, his statement emphasizes confidence, right? Reinforcing the strength of our technology and the exceptional value they provide.
Yeah, his quote reflects that validation we talked about. The funding confirms their tech is strong and their value proposition resonates. But he also talks about eagerness to continue to innovate and deliver an industry-leading cybersecurity platform. That signals they understand this isn't the end goal. It's the start of the next faster phase of growth and innovation. In cybersecurity, you can't rest on your laurels.
Definitely not. Now, putting this into the wider market context, the material mentions it's a competitive cybersecurity market, heavily funded. But it also notes Trustifi is seeing rapid adoption across industries and geographies. What does that rapid adoption tell us, given the competition?
It's a really positive signal in a crowded space. Rapid adoption suggests they've found genuine product market fit. It means customers are choosing Trustifi over alternatives, presumably because it solves their pain points effectively. It might be the combination of features, the AI effectiveness, the ease of use, the MSP focus, or all of the above. Whatever the reason, it indicates they're gaining traction and momentum, which is exactly what investors like Camber want to see before pouring in significant growth capital. It suggests the strategy is working.
Okay, we've really dissected this whole situation, the funding, the company, the tech, the strategy, the market context. Let's bring it home. What does all of this mean for you, the listener? Why should someone, perhaps not directly involved in buying enterprise security software, care about Trustifi getting $25 million?
That's the crucial connection, isn't it? Because even if you're not making IT buying decisions, you interact constantly with businesses that are. Your bank, your online retailers, your healthcare provider, your employer. They all handle your sensitive data.
And they all use email extensively.
Massively. The security of their email systems directly impacts the safety of your personal information. When a company like Trustifi gets significant funding, it fuels innovation in the tools designed to protect those communication channels. Better defenses for businesses ultimately mean better protection for the data they hold about you.
So it's about understanding the evolving threat landscape that indirectly affects us all, and seeing how the defense side is trying to keep up.
Exactly. This whole deep dive highlights that email threats aren't static. They're getting smarter, more targeted, increasingly AI-driven. Basic spam filters aren't enough anymore. Understanding this helps you appreciate the challenge businesses face, why they need advanced solutions, and frankly, it reinforces why you need to remain vigilant about the emails you receive. No tech is perfect. User awareness is still critical.
It brings that phrase, imperative to secure communication channels, home. It applies to organizations, but the ripple effects reach individuals.
Absolutely. Seeing these kinds of investments shows where the security industry is focusing its efforts to build stronger digital defenses in a world where communication is constant and threats are, unfortunately, just as persistent. It's about knowing how the good guys are trying to level up against the bad guys.
It really paints a picture of this ongoing battle. And it makes me think about that provocative thought we sometimes end with. You mentioned the AI arms race earlier. As defenders like Trustifi rely more on AI for detection, analyzing behavior, spotting anomalies, and attackers use AI to craft better attacks, could we reach a point where email security becomes almost entirely autonomous?
You mean less human interaction needed?
Yeah. Less about users flagging spam or IT admins tuning rules, and more about these AI systems, defensive AI and offensive AI, constantly battling it out in the background, making decisions in microseconds before a human ever even sees a potentially malicious email. The sort of invisible cyber war fought entirely by algorithms.
It's a really interesting projection and, not entirely far-fetched given the speed and sophistication involved. As AI gets better at detection and response and the sheer volume and speed of attacks increase, maybe the human role does shift. Perhaps humans set the high-level strategy, the risk tolerance, the overarching policies, and review the AI's performance, but the split-second frontline decisions become increasingly automated.
Like air traffic control versus fighter pilots.
Maybe something like that. It raises huge questions, of course. Trust in the AI, transparency of its decisions, how you handle errors or edge cases. But the trend towards more intelligent automation in defense seems clear. Definitely something to watch.
Food for thought for sure. Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive, this $25 million Series A for Trustifi really underscores the intense focus and urgent need for advanced email security right now. It highlights how AI-driven threats are forcing the hand of businesses to adopt more intelligent, comprehensive platforms.
Right. And it shows investor confidence in Trustifi's specific formula, combining AI-first tech, DLP, user training, cloud-native architecture, and critically, that scalable channel-first approach targeting MSPs. It's a bet on that combination being a winning strategy in a very competitive market.
And as we conclude, thinking about security, it's not just email. Protecting your core digital assets, your data, is fundamental. Robust storage is a critical piece of that puzzle.
Absolutely. Which brings us back one last time to our sponsor, Stonefly. They're leaders in enterprise storage, backup, disaster recovery, AI storage, the whole gamut. And importantly, they offer secure, ransomware-proof options like air-gapped and immutable storage that's designed specifically to protect your data backups from being compromised.
Vital defenses. So if you're looking to bolster your storage security, check them out. You can contact sales@stonefly.com to schedule a demo.
Sales@stonefly.com.
Well, that brings us to the end of this deep dive. Thanks for joining us as we explore the ins and outs of AI email security funding and what it all signifies. We hope it gave you some valuable perspective.
Yeah, hope it was useful. Stay curious, stay informed, and definitely stay secure out there.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.